If we look at the composition of domestic sewage, we'll find out that it is 99.9% water with some 0.1% of solids. And that 0.1% of solids is roughly 10% fat, 25% carbohydrates, 65% protein, which sounds like something that we could use in our gardens. For that, we need to look at what we conventionally know as treatment, sewage treatment. And sewage treatment is a process of facilitating the digestion to remove these minerals from the water. And there are 4 stages for sewage treatment, which is the preliminary, the primary, the secondary, and the tertiary stages. And we'll have a look at what the biological solutions are for this. There are 3 ways of cleaning water. Nature uses 2 of these ways: the physical way and the biological way, which involves the acceleration, the cooperation, and the removal of the solids suspended in water. This is how nature uses the wetlands and the riparian zones to clean water and put it back into the water cycle. And these are the systems that we're going to imitate to create our biosystems. If we intend to create biosystems to treat water or for any other purpose, we must keep in mind the cycle of life. As we have seen before in this course, life moves on to death, which turns into organic matter and gets digested by other organisms, turning back to minerals and back to organizing minerals into new organisms, which are the photosynthetic biomass that we know in this planet, the plants. For that is a process of metabolism that we need to respect in every living technology that we intend to develop. Today there are many examples of biosystems that have been developed around the world, and we at Ecocentro Ipec have experimented with a few of them. So to help you decide if you're going to embark into the development of your own treatment facility for your water, we have prepared this flow diagram with a few simple questions. First, you have to decide if your reuse of nutrient is a priority. We understand that should be a priority if you're gardening. And then you have to decide if the addition of water is a priority. Dry composting acceptable where you are? If it's not, can you do a different type of composting system? You also need to look into the possibility of public service available. Sometimes it doesn't make sense to create your own treatment system if you're not paying for a system that is already there. You need to decide also if you have drainage systems available to deal with this gray water that you are generating, if you can infiltrate all this water that you're generating. You also will have to look at the terrain and the type of soils that you have, and then you can start thinking about what type of system you're going to be establishing. If you want to be sustainable, if you want to be green, consider the evapotranspirator that we're going to show you in a minute. Consider also where you're going to allow discharge of this water. If you're planning to have more water leaving your system, where is this water going to go? If it cannot be infiltrated on land, on site, you need to reconsider about dry toilets and not using black water in that system. But you can always choose your biosystem according to the terrain and according to the legal requirements where you live. So you can pause this video anytime to have a look again at this flow diagram to make your decisions. This is one of the several dry toilets that we have constructed at Ecocentro Ipec. Over the years, this was constructed in 1999, and over the years we have developed this technology. We call this Homo sapiens. We have advanced it to become a more useful technology even in high density situations. In the materials of this lesson, you'll find much more information about this kind of technology, and also you'll find information about the evapotranspirator, which is something that we call the banana septic in Brazil, and we have used it in hundreds of sites and in large scales, up to the point of treating grey water and sewage to thousands of people. The important thing is to remember that there is a system working there. It's a water system of digestion, and you have many allies that are working with you in that process. So look at the materials that you have in the course. Look at this flow diagram that we have just shown you, and decide what type of system you are going to develop and for the scale that you need in the reality that you are. And once you have built a biosystem, you have to monitor it. There are many ways of monitoring with biochemical tests or biotic indications. Over time, with your experience, you learn to observe what other creatures are living in this system and showing you from that the health of the system. You can also measure the quality of the system, but trust on your eyes, trust on your nose, because over time you will know exactly what are the indicators of the health of the biosystem that you have created and what you have to do to adapt, to bring back the balance according to different seasons of the year, according to the different stresses and situations that the system might encounter. Just remember that simplicity is the name of the game. Permaculture requires a simple approach according to your scale, to the dynamics that you are facing. After you have done your analysis, you know exactly what you need and how complex your system needs to be. Always favor simplicity. And with water, it's even easier.